Om Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Ucharam Tamagocharam Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyam. Verse number 340, please. Drusyasya grahanam katham nu ghatate dehatmana tishtatah bahyarthanubhava prasakta manasah tat kriyam kuruvatah sanyastakhile dharma karma vishaihi nityatmanishta paraihi tattvajnai karaniyamatmani sadanande chuviyatnatah. Right. So, one who is desirous of sada ananda ichu, desirous of being blissful at all the time, happy, contented, secured, free, take whatever word you like, must have sada atmanishtha para, always must abide in himself. If for the child, and the child feels very comfortable with toys, to be all the time happy, child needs distraction. He needs a toy, needs a storybook, needs mommy, needs, pictures. And that is how everybody grows up in life. Then you start replacing those objects one after another. As Shankara so nicely says, Balastavat kridasaktah, tarunastavat taruniraktaha, vruddhastavat chintamagna, parame brahmani kopina lagna. So beautiful verse. Balastavat kridasaktah. The child is busy playing with toys. Krida, playing with animals, dogs, people, toys, all the time playing. Tarunastavat taruni saktah. Now, as you grow up, you replace those inanimate sense objects to an animate object, another man or a woman. Becomes a very strong attraction in the youth. You forget the other things. There may be other attractions, but they are not as important or as intense as the attraction from the opposite sex. Bruddhastava chintamagna. And when your youth passes, now comes the old age where chintamagna, full of anxiety, missed chances, or what you could do, what you could not do, what you should have done, what you should not have done. So this is where the average person time passes. The child's time passes with the involvement with the little objects. Same thing also a grown-up person. Whereas for the wise one who sees, one who is happy with himself, now he finds his happiness not in the object or in the things, but in himself. That is because, as we have seen, in any moment of happiness, you are with yourself. This is not, understand, this is not spirituality, this is not religion, this is not something extraordinary perception, some type of a mystic achievement. These are the simple things of life. That is why Upanishads, Vedas are so beautiful. These are all simple things of life. Just like you know how to walk, how to breathe, how to see, how to taste, how to touch, you must know how to be. You understand the simplicity of this wisdom. What this wisdom is expecting you is not want you to be extraordinary. It wants you to be absolutely ordinary. Because truth is absolutely ordinary. Immortality is ordinary. Mortality is extraordinary. Space is absolutely ordinary. But a skyscraper built within the space is extraordinary. A star, planet, Milky Ways, galaxies, mountains, volcanoes, forests, ocean, desert, they are extraordinary sights. But a space as a landscape is always there. That is why if you are a painter, the moment you prepare your canvas, understand, the moment you prepare your canvas, the space has already effortlessly gone into it. You don't need to paint space. You need to paint something else. The moment you are in the canvas of this universe, consciousness has an effortless entry. Are you getting that point? Are you really getting that point? Before you start speaking, silence is already formed the backdrop. Do you really get it? Or getting a sensation of the sound? The simplest. Before you start speaking, silence has already formed the backdrop. Should you need to create a silence to start speaking? Is it necessary to purchase space to start building? You purchase ground, you don't purchase space. The space is already there. I can tell you can purchase space also, but that is not, space is not something, effortlessly it has gone into it. Same thing in every perception, consciousness is already there. The most ordinary, commonplace existence is yourself. What is happening today, you have made it very extraordinary. Enlightenment, awakening, awareness, wisdom. Why is it so? Because people don't understand it. The scholars have gone into it. The wisdom is far away. Now scholarship is running the world. The person doesn't know anything about himself, but is talking about the scriptures, talking about the wisdom, possibilities, miracles, mysticism. So the average person, like a child, goggle-eyed. The child, when you talk to him something, the child is surprised. So as you surprise people with information, Brahman, Atman, consciousness, God, truth. Hey, that is myself. What am I surprised at? Are you getting that point? You are the subject. There is nothing to be surprised at. What type of surprise you should have is a little bewilderment, man, how stupid I am. Everything is here and I am looking outside. That is why the day you discover how stupid you are wisest man. Wisdom has no pride, understand. Wisdom has nothing very special about it. To be a professional is very, very great achievement. To build a house is a great achievement. To learn to sing, dance, run is a great achievement. To be yourself is the simplest thing. Because you are already that. Being yourself is absolutely ordinary. Absolutely ordinary. Why is it so difficult? Because difficult to drop the ideas that you have picked up. A person one day was very much interested in the truth. So he goes to the teacher. When he's going on, he's go to teacher, a story. So there was on the way there are so many temptations. So the devil comes and tempts him. Tempts him with knowledge, scholarship, with all the name, fame, lust, passion, riches, everything it tempts him with. He doesn't fall for anything. Straight away, he moves into the teacher's presence. And he goes to the teacher, he sees the teacher is sitting down like in a throne and he is teaching everybody. Then suddenly he says, oh, this fellow does not really live the life of renunciation. He is too luxurious. Okay. Then after a few minutes, few hours, he sat down there. Having come, he sat down there. Then he discovers he is totally ignored. Then he thinks, only those people who flatter him, only this fellow will look at him and not me. Then he starts making some joke. Then he said, this fellow is not serious. He doesn't fit into what a right teacher to be. And he walks out. At that time the teacher looks at the devil and he says, you need not have tempted him. He is already destroyed. Why? Because people are desperate to do anything to understand the truth, except dropping the ideas of the truth that they have picked up. Are you getting that point? People shall go to any extent to understand the truth. Give up the house, give up the job, give up everything. But the funny, fancy ideas that he has already picked up, very, very difficult to give it up. You look at yourself. What is the biggest obstacle? As a child, as a person, when you are growing up, you have a concept of God. That is how your mother has introduced you, father has introduced you, brother has introduced you, a tradition has introduced to you. And at no time you shall feel comfortable to drop that idea, because that idea is your anchor. Very simple thing I tell you. Last night you had a wonderful question. The first question the gentleman who had asked, gentleman, gentle lady, whoever it is, the person who has asked that when I go back from this place, what shall I do to remember myself? And I told you, whether you are established or not established, you must begin your day. The moment you wake up, there is a gap between your waking up and getting out. You wake up, your eyes are open, close back again, think and do, and see that very clearly before you get out. How many of you did it this morning? Ask yourself a question. How many of you did that to the morning? You go on your own way. It doesn't mean, it has no impact. Understand? It has no impact. Why? Because everybody listens to his mind. You are not going to listen to somebody just because somebody said that. You have given up everything. That 15 minutes I should sit down, 20 minutes I should sit down, half an hour I should sit down. I am not challenging you. Just look at the delusion of the mind. Choice is yours. Because if you get established, you are the one benefited. If you don't, you lose out. Nothing happens to the teacher. Any time you make a mistake, first you suffer. But our tragedy is you always blame others. Like a person, one day he was sitting around there and, he went with the doctor with some wound on the ears. Usually every part gets wounded except the ears. Because foot you are walking, so heat somewhere. Hand you are working, so hand can get heat. Body falls down, hands break, but the ear nothing happens to anybody. Nothing. One thing happens to ear is you are deaf. But very rarely you get hurt in your ear. Very rarely. But this fellow has burnt both the ears and gone. So the person asked, the doctor asked, how did you manage? He said, no, I was just standing in the drawing room and coming out, suddenly telephone rang. And there was this near the telephone table, that iron box. Somebody had, was ironing. It was very hot. I picked up the iron, thinking it is a telephone. I picked it up and put it on my ear. So it got, so it burnt. All right, I can understand 1 year is burnt. What about the second year? You see, the idiot rang again. Now, who is the idiot? Who is the idiot? So, this is how our judgment, this is our analysis. Every time others are all mistake. I am very absolutely wonderful. So, naturally, you shall continuously suffer in life. No choice. So difficult to drop the ideas. Understand? Even after you listen to, you are the absolute, you are the truth, you are the happiness. I know I am the happiness, but nothing like eating mushroom and cheese, I know I am the happiness, but what about movie? Movie is so nice. I am happiness, but nothing like sleeping in an air-conditioned room. Yes. Hey, understand, that is comfort. Nobody tells you not to do that. Eat what you like, do what you want. But never consider that as the happiness. That is your comfort level. Because you can be very comfortably miserable. If it is not that you are uncomfortable, but not unhappy. So be happy with yourself. Happily comfortable, happily uncomfortable. We have seen all these things more and more. But these ideas are so strong inside that the person cannot drop it. That is why contemplation. But this ahankar, you shall come after 1 or 2 verses, you shall see. It is so strong. Individuality is so strong, wedded to the ideas already picked up, the person finds it extremely difficult to drop it. Always a victim of a thought. That is why he says, if you want to Suddhanandaji Chubihi, if a person wants to be happy, blissful, free at all times, all places, all conditions, Sanyasta Akhila Upadhi, completely giving up the Upadhi, all the body, mind, thought in a sense, dropping your identity, now be with yourself, Sada Atmanishtha be yourself. Like the story example, I gave you the Prime Minister dropping the clothes and remembering the source, the origin, the rural origin of the man. He doesn't want to forget. So you don't forget your original nature, who you are. Every other thought is a role. Father, mother, brother, husband, wife, educated, uneducated, rich, poor, young, old, is a role continuously being played out. If the whole existence is a stage in which your life of the drama of your life is being unfolded, and in this drama, listen carefully, in this drama, it is a lovely mono act. Yourself is brother, yourself is father, yourself is sister, yourself is wife, yourself is mommy, yourself is baby. Daughter or son in relation to your father, father or daughter, mother in relation to your children, brother, son, officer. So many roles you are playing. And see how troubled you are. One role is troubled, the entire personality is troubled. Brother-in-law is affected, everybody is affected. Mother-in-law is affected, everybody is affected. Friend-in-law is affected, everybody is affected. A role, understand, one role is affected, the entire personality is affected. Also the delusion is one role is strong around which everything moves. That also can happen. Person can delude himself. Everything is fine. Why? Professionally is fine. He doesn't understand his wife is running away. Or the husband is crazy. Or parents are no more there. Some things he doesn't understand because too full of himself. One role is very, very strong. Whereas when you are appreciating yourself, who you are, then all the roles you play nice. Certain roles need more importance, certain needs less importance. You decide for yourself which one is right. What is to be done? That is why no grieving at any time. But unconsciously, it doesn't happen because the eye picks up. Like when I say, get up in the morning, yeah, we'll do that. Listen to it. You listen. You cannot escape listening because both the ears cannot be closed. You listen. Registering, eye doesn't register. I know. Yeah, we'll do. So next morning when you are getting up, that completely oblivious. You are totally forgotten. Why? You are back to your own routine. Get up, do this, do that, those things. Doesn't matter. How many verses you remember? How many times you remember the verse that you have taken up last time? How many points you think for yourself? As I told you, it's not a challenge. You question for yourself. Like one time I told you, you have come to this place. All of you have removed your chappals there and come. How many of you remember exactly where you have put your chappal? Can you just close your eyes, get out and take your chappal and go back? You don't have to raise your hand, do anything. I'm just asking you, think for yourself. Do you know where you have left your chappal? And without missing, walk straight, pick it up and go. Not many people can do it. Why? While walking, unconscious. Somewhere drop the chappal. Somewhere sit down. Get up, then look for it. Where is my chappal? Where did I put it? Your chappal, why somebody should know? Just think. Unconscious behavior. Please. That is why it becomes difficult. The more you are conscious, the more happy you are. The happiness quotient depends upon the consciousness quotient. How conscious you are, that happy you shall be. Understand? Because at no time you shall unconsciously jump into the stream of thought. There was a surgeon. He was a top, very famous surgeon. And he was teaching his students. He told them that as future surgeons, you should have two things in your mind always. You must keep two things in your mind. One is, you should avoid being, you should be aware of the nausea. Nausea, when you see something, that like doctor, if you feel say, oh, this is pus and this is blood and this is a cough, you will faint every day. As a doctor, you cannot say that. It cannot appear nauseating. You cannot. So one thing you should get used to is nausea, irritation in your throat and all that. And another thing is observation. You must be a very sharp observer. Oh, very good. Then he said, all right. Today we shall test it out. He puts his finger in the one liquid, which is very nauseating. He puts his finger there and he licks it up and asks everybody, please do that. Before doing it, already people are, oof, already, eh? But anyway, but they have to pass. So everybody dipped his finger. But then somehow they did not react and they liked it. Then the professor smiled and he says, all of you have passed successfully in the first test. You could stand by the nausea, but all of you failed in observation. Because you forgot, you didn't observe that I dipped one finger but licked another finger. I dipped one finger, but licked another finger. What is your observation? Like that. People will observe how the wise man is behaving, but they don't understand the source of it. They repeat the action. Sometimes you repeat the action. Oh, he's smiling, I'll also smile. But what is the source? He's very kind, I should be very kind. What is the source? When the source is not there, you dry up. Are you getting that? That is where your smile is artificial. Any artificial thing tires you down. If artificially you are conscious, trying to be conscious, you will be tired of being conscious. That is why the people who become watchmen in meditation, they are tired very quickly. I'm watching my thought. Watch your breath. Watch your thought. Are you stupid? What are you watching it for? Watching a thought is not meditation. If you make yourself a watchman, are you meditation or meditator? When you make yourself a meditator, you are tired of meditation. Understand the point. When you make yourself a meditator, you become tired of meditation. That is why this meditation training destroys you. Without any awareness of yourself, without any teaching, appreciation about yourself, you sit down closing your eyes. Then the I will say in between, individuality will say, how long to sit down like this? You have practiced, now we must practice, Then first day you do it because of your enthusiasm. After 3 days you are tired, you don't do it again. Nobody does it. You get initiated by 100 rogues, so-called teachers, but none of you follow. Why? Your ahankara takes over. Individuality will take over. You shall start 100 practices. Every practice you shall do it for 2 days. Because ahankara, the I thought is so smart, it gets very soon tired. It has to know about itself. That is why beautifully says, Sanyasta akhila dharma karma visahi nityatma nishtha parehi. Sanyasta akhila dharma karma upadhi vishaya. Everything completely sanyasta, giving up. Dharma karma meaning every action, every upadhi, because you are in the path of learning, understanding yourself. So when the preparation stage, you give up everything. So that after you understand, you accept everything. That's not life. Are you getting that? Not that you go to the home and give up everything. Dangerous. That is why please appreciate. Do not miss the context. Because the person sitting down in the big city along with the family, he reads this and he wants to be religious. Akhila sanyasta dharma karma. Then who will take care of your son? Who will take care of your daughter? Who can take care of your wife? Who will take care of your husband? Who will take care of anything? You have to do all the action. But previously you are acting as though your life depended on it. Now you know, you are blissful, absolutely happy. Your role has to be played. So for some time in this life, I have to play my role out. Born as a child, grown up as young man or woman, now a husband or wife, now a father or the mother, after some time maybe a grandfather or grandmother, that role also drops out. Just like you retire in life. You picked up your degree. Understand? You picked up your engineering, you picked up your professional degree, so you are a professor now. When you are 60, you retire. As when you retire, because you picked up the role, you are not engineer. Now you retired, you are no more the chief engineer. You are a person now. Do you understand that principle? You picked up a role of a father. You picked up a role of a husband. Wife is gone. When you are 70, your wife is gone. No more husband. Retire from that role. The husband is gone. No more you are a wife. Retire from the role. The father is gone. Retire from the role of a son or a daughter. The mother is gone. Retire from the role of a son or a daughter. A friend is gone. Retired from the role of a friend. You understand? You are continuously retiring from your roles. Life is pushing you out. Do you really understand this? can't make it more realistic and more easier. Please appreciate. Play the role. Nobody tells you not to play the role. The ordinary religious injunction is Kade, Kanda, Kastre, wrong interpretation that who's your husband, who's your wife. What do we know who's my husband? My husband is my husband. My wife is my wife. My son is my son. My daughter is my daughter. My body is my body. But that is not me. Mine is different from me. So I'm playing the role of a husband, playing the role of a wife, playing the role of a mother, playing the role of a traveler, playing the role of a lover, playing the role of a... You play. But being yourself is not a role. Don't say, I'm playing the role of being myself. I see. I'm playing the role of being myself. That is why devotee is not a role. Understand the point. Devotee is not a role because you are a permanent devotee. God alone is existing. Body is a part of it. He alone is existing. That is why that is a primary relationship between Ishvara and Jiva, which can never be alienated, never be isolated, never be separated. When this primary relationship between Jiva and Ishvara is forgotten, the secondary relationship becomes very important. My husband is my God, my wife is my God, my daughter is my God, my son is my God, my employer is my God. And soon those gods fail because they can't stand. Time will snatch it. When the secondary relationship fails, then you run for the primary. When the secondary relationship which you consider as primary, when it fails, which naturally has to fail, your time passes, roles drop, then you suddenly go, oh God, why happened to my son, my daughter, my husband, my wife, my family? Then you come back. But if you are holding on to the primary relationship, that everybody, Jiva, every individual is connected to Ishvara, totality. Therefore, nobody is dead, nobody is gone. In between, ours was a secondary relationship in the run through life. Like the current is passing. Logs of woods are floating independently. Suddenly the current brings two logs of wood together. Again, the same current which brings it together, same current separates it. Time which brings us together, the same time separates it. As long as together, enjoy the companionship. When you part, that is how it should be. Absolutely alone, singular existence, one with consciousness or one with Ishvara. Makes no difference. Therefore, devotee is not a role. Devotee is an act, that is your being. Like wisdom is not a role. Call it consciousness. Call from the standpoint of body also devotee. Both are one and the same. That is why jnana, bhakti, everything is so sweet. There are not two different things, please. You see it clearly. Okay, having told this, so if you do this, sarvartha, sarvatma siddhi, you can see yourself everywhere. You are yourself at all times, all places, all conditions. God alone is existing. And that for that, it gives you more tips how you should do. Sarvatma siddhaye vikshoho kruta sravana karmana samadhim vidadhatyesha shanto danta iti shruti. Sarvatma siddhaye vikshoho kruta sravana karmana samadhim vidadhatyesha shanto danta iti shruti. Right. So, vikshoho sarvatma siddhaye sravana karmana kruta sravana karmana. He says, for this vikshu, you see the name is given a vikshu. Vikshu means, the one who is living on viksha. Viksha. What is viksha? English language is begging. English word is begging. Vikshana, begging. No. A Vikshu is not a beggar. Like Bauddha Vikshu, they call it Bauddha Vikshu. Buddhists use that word, Vikshu. It all comes, Vikshu. Vikshu means like a sannyasi. Who is a Viksha? What is Viksha? Viksha is akrutva parasantapam agatva khalamandiram akleshaitva chadatmanam yadalpamapi tad bahu iti Viksha. This is the definition of Viksha. A contemplative person only has the right and the privilege to beg. Nobody else. If other people beg, they will become beggars, lazy, lethargic, parasite, imbecile. You can use any word you like. But a contemplative person must have the Viksha. Why? Because he is busy contemplating, as I told you yesterday. The society takes care of his stomach, and that person in exchange takes care of the brain of the society. That is why such a person has to be fed. It is the responsibility of the society. That way it is called upon the Gruhasthas to take care of the sannyasis. Why? Because a Gruhastha who is an householder is so busy taking responsibilities, have no time to expose to this knowledge. So this person gets his food because he is cooking for 5 people at home. So one more can eat. So a sadhu is being fed, so that he can do the satsang, give the idea. Because that person is mentally hungry, intellectually hungry, he has the food, the sadhu, the contemplator has the food at his disposal to satisfy the hunger of the mind. So it's a beautiful arrangement, Vikshu. And what is that? He should go to such a place, akrutva parasantapam. He should not hassle up other people. For your Viksha, you go on a demand. I want this today. Like I had sent one person who is studying, brahmachari or a Swami, I just sent him, go to a place, stay there for some time. And what did he do? Of course he stayed, demanded everything from everybody. One person spends up 5,000, 4,000, 10,000 on himself in 1 month. Even the people who are working hard, they don't spend that much. Akrutva, the principle is akrutva parasantapam. Others should not be inconvenienced for your food. So go to a place where somebody has plenty. Don't ask somebody who is poor. And whatever comes, yad alpamapi tad bahu. Whatever comes, happy. Whatever, yad alpamapi. Whatever little comes, bahu. Very satisfied. Don't tell him, I asked you, you are giving only 1 banana. So then what you want? You want a banana plantation? When somebody gives you, he gives you 1 banana. You want a plantation, what can he do? Also, agatva khalamandiram. Don't go to a place where the person is earning money in evil means. Selling liquor, selling drugs, that type of houses. Also don't go there. Why? Then your presence will give a sanctity, justification to his business. Because such a great man, a great sadhu has gone to his house. That means he must be a nice person. But he is a drunkard. He sells liquor. Akratva phalakarasantabam, agatva khalamandiram. Then, akleshaitaja atmanam. Same time, you should not punish yourself too much. Starving. No. Sustaining your body. Yadalpam, whatever comes in your life, you take that. Why? Because you are taken to the life of contemplation. So, Viksha is all about food only. Understand clearly. Subtler dimension of it is, as even when you go from house to house, you don't know what is coming in your hand. Same thing. When you are living in this household of a universe, You don't know what sound is coming, what sight is coming, what touch is coming, what taste is coming. You are not asking for anything. That is Viksha. Viksha is not only for food. Vikshanna matrena chatustimanda. Shankara says in one place, Sadhana Panchagam. Vikshanna matrena cha tushtimanda. Tushtimanda means tushti. Tushti means satisfied. Very satisfied with Vikshanna. Begs whatever comes. The other meaning is Vikshanna matrena chatushtimanda. Became 4 sides. You know, if he was 20 kilos, now begging food, he has become 80 kilos. Chatushtimanda. 4. Huh? As a joke. As even you are going from door to door for your sustenance, and how much? The moment is over, over. Don't beg it for lunch, dinner. No. Finish. No savings. Same thing also in life. The creation, in the doors of the universe, you are a beggar. What thought is coming? Viksha. What sound, touch, taste, smell is coming around you? Viksha. Comes, beautiful. Doesn't come, no demand. Why? I'm interested in knowing myself. That is why sadhu. For some time. For some time. That's why I tell you, don't forget the context. People come from the house, people come from there, then they go back with a guilt. Oh, I have to live as a Vikshana Matrana, but I am not living a Viksha. You are not supposed to live like that. You have to have your money, you have to plan your life, you have to organize things. It's not that I have brought children now, I have brought up 4 or 5 children, I am married and my parents also there, but I have handed it over to God. Whatever comes, you must be nuts. That is not. There you consciously take a responsibility. Are you getting that point, please? Very consciously. At the same time, how do you do it? Before you take this responsibility, if you understand yourself who you are, completely free from it, then you are happy to take the responsibility. Are you getting that? When you are happy with yourself, contented with yourself as you are, then roles you are just playing the roles, understand, you are just playing the roles, then you go back and continue to play the roles in life. So even though you get married, that's not a problem. You have children, that's not a problem. You take responsibility, that is not a problem. Because you are trained to be yourself. Are you getting that? You are being yourself. That is why instead of getting this knowledge as a brahmachari, everybody waits to get this knowledge after 70. For what? Should you learn driving after the journey? Until that, you push the car. You push the car, car being pushed, we push the car being pushed. Then at the end of the journey, you say, I think I should learn driving. For what? Silly. After the drama is over, you are rehearsing. After the drama is over, now you are doing your rehearsal. How fantastic. After you finished eating poisonous food, when you are dying, you want to learn cooking, normal food. For what? It doesn't work. Understand? See it for yourself. So Vikshu, in the beginning stages, okay, Viksha, you know, whatever comes in my life, accept it as it. Why? Because I am interested in knowledge. Therefore, Vikshu, Krutasravana Karmana, Sarvatma Siddhai. In order to know the truth, here is truth everywhere. You are a Vikshu, a beggar in the street of life, and a very respected beggar in that. By your begging, nobody is hassled, nobody is inconvenienced. That is why it's a blessing to give Viksha to the sadhu. Tradition. Why? A person who is doing that lifestyle, to help him becomes a great punya in the tradition. Because you are helping somebody to understand the absolute. Of course, if the person doesn't use it, that's a different game altogether. Anyway, samadhim vidadati esha shanto danta iti shruti. Such a person, shanto danto uparato bhuktva mumukshu. Mumukshu must be shanta, samanvita, sama. Mind must be beautiful. Danta, dama, organs of action, sense organs in their own place. All that you have seen. Uparata, withdrawn from everything. Mumukshu, samadhim vidadhati. Must consciously be with himself. In other words, samadhi. That is very, very important. More and more you become conscious, consciously conscious. Everybody is unconsciously conscious. Understand? Everybody is unconsciously conscious. That is how activities are taking place. That's how you are moving about. When you are doing things, you are unconsciously conscious. When you are consciously conscious, every action you know, every speech you know, every speech deliberate. That is why you don't have to say, sorry, I should not have done that, I should not have said that. What is the idea of every time kicking me and telling sorry? Most people do that. You every time talk nonsense, abusive words. Then you say, I'm sorry, I should not have said that. How many times I can rely on you? First time I said, okay, poor thing. Anybody can make a mistake. Now same nonsense, same type of behavior 100 times. Conscious. Samadhi you must do. Why? We'll see the next verse, please see. Now what is the samadhi will come, I'll tell you. Arudha sakte rahamo vinasah kartunna sakya sahasapi panditaihi ye nirvikalpakhya samadhi nischalaha tanantarananta bhavahi vasanaha. Arudha sakte rahamo vinasah kartum na sakya sahasapi panditaihi ye nirvikalpakhya samadhi nischalaha tanantarananta bhavahi vasanaha. Samadhi. Every mumukshu, one who is desirous of liberation, therefore kruta sravana karmana, one who has done this sravana, mananiti dhyasana, and living with the right attitude in life, must do this samadhi abhyas. What is samadhi? Samadhi is samadhi, where the dhi is same, buddhi is same. That is your nature. You are always in samadhi because you are the samadhi. Samadhu tishtati, samadhistha, sthita prajna, sthita dhi, all one and the same. Always in samadhi. Always you are with yourself. People ask theoretical question. If I am always in samadhi, can I function? Of course you can function. You are in samadhi because your nature is samadhistha, where always eternally remain the same. Just like you have got the beautifully represented in Nandi, in Shiva temple. Shiva is always in Samadhi. Shiva is the embodiment of Samadhi. Shivoham, Shivoham. You are. See the temple, the whole thing, your physical body. In that whole body of a temple, where the temple is your body. That is why the language that is used in Agama Shastra, which Shilpa Shastra, which tells you how to build a temple, they use the language of the body. The base of the temple is known as the Pada. Pada means foot. The side of the temple is known as Parshva, Hasta, the side, hand. And this top of the temple is known as the Shikhara, Sirsha, the head. Where the God is existing, Garvagraha. That is the Garvagraha. That is the Sanctum Sanctorum. The whole concept of a body in which the God is existing. So in this body of a temple, bull is the mind, riding on which Shiva moves into the world. I, the consciousness, the Brahman, the Atman, the reality, uses the bull of a mind. Why the mind is compared to a bull? Uncontrollable. The bull is a bad boy. Does whatever it wants to do. It doesn't listen to anybody. Bull, absolutely out of control. But Shiva's bull, always under control. And this bull, mind, sometimes you shall see in a temple, bull is looking towards God. Always in contemplation. Another place you shall see bull is looking out to the world. Why? As though in activity. It's a beautiful symbol. Always remembering Ishvara, the truth, the Shivoham, Shivoham. The mind is extrovert, deliberate, because you are moving out. So that is why when you are with yourself, the bull looking at one's Ishvara, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa, Nirgata Vikalpo Yasmat, from where all the modifications, changes have gone. Projections are gone. Nirvikalpa, no modifications whatsoever. Absolutely still with yourself. When you are active, the mind is moving out. You are engaging yourself activity in the world. You are still in Samadhi. Savikalpa, with Vikalpa, with differences, dualities, projections of every kind. Just because you are doing the Vikalpa, you are going with the projection, living in the world, that does not mean Samadhi is lost. Are you getting that? Always in Samadhi, sometimes with activities, sometimes without activities. Sometimes with the thought, sometimes without the thought. Are you getting that? So Samadhi is never lost. Just because you are active in the world, just because you are moving about in the world, taking responsibility, that does not mean Samadhi gone. That is where theoretician will say, if you want to be Samadhi, you should get out of all activities. Hey, yes, suppose you are talking about the beginning stages, I can agree, no problem. But that's not a lifestyle. Don't make Samadhi a lifestyle. What are you doing? These days I am doing only Samadhi practice. How old are you? 60-year-old, for last 30 years I am doing. What are you wasting your time? That is where he becomes a parasite, useless lifestyle. A sadhu, a person, a man of understanding must be 24 hours active, 365 days. No holiday in life. Your life is a long holiday. The understanding of yourself is so beautiful, your life is a long holiday. Between the activities, you are in a holiday, not anxiety. I am taking you class. This is a holiday. Why? All the time being with myself and talking. Take some responsibility here and there. That also is holiday, because being with myself and doing it. Okay, certain times you don't have to. Okay, go to room, 2 hours sleep. A happy holiday. What is the responsibility? Always with yourself. Everybody can do it. And responsibility is what? How much you drag on to yourself. Certain thing to be done, it has to be done. So you do it. Happily do it. It's not that it's a load. You know, understand when it becomes something becomes a load? Only when you are existing as a ahankar, everything shall appear as a load. The stars are suspended on the space. Are they load on the space? The stars, suspended stars and galaxies are not a load on the space. Now this table standing here, is it a load on the earth? It's a part of the earth. How can there be a load on the earth? Right. This table, heavy or light? Does it matter? If you are sitting there, I am sitting here, table is here. Does it matter whether heavy or light? When does it become heavy? Only when you try to put on your head. Anything becomes a load when you put it on your head. Until you try to put on your head, nothing is a load. That is where comes ahankar. You know the fellow who thinks, I am the office. Have you not seen people? I am the office. I am the officer. I am the family. Of course, you are a glorious slave. Because you are, what are you doing? You are carrying the load of something which is not yours. It's like the dog. The dog which is walking under the bullock cart, he thinks he is carrying the load of the bullock cart. If he doesn't walk there, the bullock cart will stop. Like one day, a fool was going on a railway, in a train, and he was carrying on a basket of brinjal. He was going from one city to another city. Just 20 kilometers drive, just 10 minutes it will reach. So he goes there and he sees the whole train is crowded. So what he did, instead of putting the load on the luggage carrier, he put it on his head and sat down. So somebody asked him, what are you doing? Why are you carrying that thing? Why don't you put it there? He said, no. The train is already so much overloaded. If I put it now, it will be so much more load, Now why are you laughing? Because the fellow is just stupid. Whether you put it in your head or put it there on the carrier, the train is carrying. So why are you carrying it in your head? Life is like that. Principles are beautiful. Without carrying on your head, can you run a show? That is how Vishnu runs it. Vishnu runs it. Brahma creator, Vishnu is the sustainer. And how does he run it? Sleeping in the Kira Sagara, in the ocean of milk, is sleeping. Why? Everything is put on the move. Now the best manager of the universe, everything is on the move, is sleeping. And such way organized, if somebody doesn't do his job, they suffer, not he. The best manager. The worst manager is, after appointing people, you are running after the people also. Did you do it? What to do? It must happen inside you. When you are happy with yourself, your thoughts are already taken care of. You don't have to take care of your thought. But you want to spend more time taking care of your thought. That is why you are getting wasted. I'm watching. Watchman. Tired, exhausted. And when you are tired and exhausted, you get so irritated, you do everything wrong. When you are tired, that is why the religious people are most angry people. You can just keep it under your observation. Usually the so-called religious people are the most angry people. Durvasa. Very angry, very self-righteous. They cannot take other people's mistake because they are totally blind to their own mistake. It's like a vigilance officer who is supposed to catch the other people's corruption, forgets he is corrupt. Understand? Very, very smart you have to be. Okay. Samadhi. That is your nature. Samadhi is Atma Nitya Samadhistha. Your self-consciousness always that. Your another name is Samadhi. Your name is Samadhi. What is your name? Aham, Atma, Samadhi, Nirvikalpa, Ajaha, any name you like. It's another name for you. So it's not a state. Samadhi is not a state. Got into Samadhi, got out of Samadhi. Nonsense. Can you get into space and get out of space? Anybody? Can you get into space and get out of space? Getting into Samadhi, get out of Samadhi? What nonsense. You can get into a home and get out of a home. But you can't get into space. You can't get into space. What is the question of getting out? That is, you can get into a thought and get out of a thought, but not get into Samadhi. So suppose there is a good thought, the person thinks he is in Samadhi. And a bad thought, Samadhi is gone, now disturbances have come. So thoughts are disturbances. That thought which doesn't disturb you is very Samadhi. Why? I was all the time Namo, 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 Namo X, Namo X, Namo X. So I was in Samadhi. Now my father's thought has come, I have lost the Samadhi. So home is a prison, some nonsensical place where nuts are living, called ashram. You call it as the what? Spiritual place, right? So everybody must give up everything and go and get in nut house, right? Please, appreciate. Mahadeva, when you are happy with yourself, everywhere it is Samadhi. Okay, you have to be very careful. Why? Because again and again you must be consciously abiding in yourself. Why? Arudha saktehe ahamaha arudha saktehe vinasa panditei sahasapi na kartum sakya panditei api. Even though you are a great scholar, you might have listened for a longest time. Ahamaha arudha saktehe ahankarasya valishtatvam. The power of the ahankar, the strength of the ahankar, to bypass this or to own this, to win over this, sahasana saktum sakyam, kartum sakyam. Suddenly it doesn't happen. It takes for some people, it takes a long, long time. Listen carefully. Why is it? Because it is very, very crafty. Understand that example, please. I thought this ahankar is your companion from the day one. Every time you are using the word I as what? Not as Brahman the absolute, but as the body, mind, thoughts, father, mother, son, daughter. So many ways you have put up. Suppose you are listening to this truth, one day you get a message. Father is not okay. Then suddenly your own mind will tell you, as a son, I have a responsibility, I must do this. Yes, as a son, you have a responsibility to your father. As a brother, you have a responsibility to your brother. But as an ahankar, you have a responsibility towards yourself. Have you understood that? Just think. Your roles are very, very important. Why? Because you are not supposed to be selfish. Taking care of yourself is selfishness. You forget. Only if you can take care of yourself, you can take care of others. Or else you have compassion for your father. What are the resources? Nil. Compassion for your mother, compassion for your brother, compassion for your sister, compassion for everybody. What are your resources? Nothing. So that is known as the holy man, right? Hollowness with holiness. Understand? Because dangerous. The person is not taking care of himself, but is busy taking care of others. Oh, how grandiose. Just think. The person doesn't know how to take care of himself, but is learning to take care of others. Because as much you have this responsibility towards a father, mother, brother, that much you have responsibility towards yourself. Are you a happy man? No. You can never take care of your father, don't worry. When you are empty, listen carefully, when you are empty, everything that you earn, everything that you produce will go into that black hole. Nothing will be available for anybody. That time you show a lot of kindness in your words, but not in your deed. Why people are hypocritical? They'll talk about kindness. Like the other day, one fellow was telling me, Swamiji, I wish I have 1,000,000. Why? You are doing so many wonderful things. You have got tribal school, this school, that school. I would have done very nice. I said, yes, you are not the first one to promise. There are many people, those who wish. When they don't have 1,000,000, they wish. I had 1,000,000, I'll give. When they have 1,000,000, wishes vanish. Why? Now comes the real testing time. Are you getting that point? When you don't have, you have the willingness to give. When you have, the willingness disappears. Right? I wish I had a marriage, I would have some money, I would have given 10,000 rupees for my brother's son's marriage. Maybe that day, that month, you got a surprise bonus, a big packet. You got 50,000. Now your mind will remind you, hey, you had promised 10, give 10. Without me, it is also managing, so it's okay. It's okay. Who is telling you this? One devil, right? Mara. In every religion, they have got an idiot. It's an imaginary idiot. You are that horned one. Are you getting that? You are the devil. But you think there is a devil, what can I do? There is a devil doing it for me. Like Duryodhana asked a question. Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. I know what is wrong, right. Can't follow it. Janami adharmam nachame nivritti. I know what I should not do, but that's what I am interested in. Next line is a universal line. Kenapi devena hrudistitena. Somebody, some God sitting down in my heart. Yathani yuktosmi tatha karomi. As he engages me, that's what I do. What is my fault? Wonderful. So all the time only others are tempting you, others are pushing you. You, Mr. Wisdom. Flawless, genuine, white swan. The day you get out of that deception for yourself, you will be a nice person. That your mistake is your mistake. You commit it. There is nobody tempting you. When you are sitting down there, quietly closing your eyes, who is getting into your head? One thought comes up, go for a smoke. Oh, Swamiji told morning get up, but it's for the beginners. I am already 2 months, You understand? It can give you such fantastic sanction. This is ahamadi. Ahamaha aruda sakti. So strong. The ideas that you have picked up, to give it up becomes very difficult, and especially so your pet ideas. What is your pet idea from childhood? Pet idea is, sadhu, if you are a religious person, you should not eat garlic. Then you go to a place, somebody is eating garlic. For garlic, you get out of the knowledge. Just because the fellow is eating garlic. Or you have an idea that everybody must speak only Sanskrit. These fellows are speaking Tamil, special, Tamil vernacular language, or Spanish, Sanskrit only. Is it Sanskrit? Is it no Sanskrit? No, I'm going. So you have already decided what the truth should be. You have already decided what the God should be. You have already decided what anything should be. So, are you looking for a confirmation or revelation? That is why smart goods in the garb of a guru, what will they do? They confirm your expectations and cheat you outright. They confirm your expectation. Don't eat garlic. True, honest true. Don't look at a man or woman. Yes, that is true. Secretly you will be doing it, but in front you should not do. Why? You are religious, Newspaper you should not read. So under the Bhagavad Gita, newspaper will be there. Like children studying cartoon book inside the physics book. Religious people read novels inside the Ramayana. Right? Must be nuts. So somebody can conform to your expected behavior and cheat you outright. Because You have your own norms. An ignorant man setting a norm for the truth, that's the most ridiculous act you can ever do. Are you getting that point? Ignorant person, not knowing anything, he has set a norm for the truth. This is how the truth should be. This is how the wise man should live. So you get thoroughly cheated in life, completely destroyed. It is just like a policeman comes, understand, a policeman comes, a thief comes in the garb of a policeman. Think of it. Comes a police person. You believe in a policeman. You don't know there is a thief inside the policeman in a uniform, and you are finished. Sita, had she known it is a Ravana inside that cloth, will she come out? But she lost in the cloth. Here is a sage. How can I say no to him? Understand? Whom do you believe? Listen carefully. Whom do you believe? A person comes to your house. Listen carefully. He gives you something. In our ashram it happened. I can give an example. A sadhu, a person came and he reminded the ashram administration in Madras that there was a sadhu who visited me 10 years back. And true, somebody had come. 10 years back, the sadhu, he had come, he has seen me. And suddenly he says, he is dead and there is nobody. So he has left behind 1,30,000 rupees to the ashram, our ashram. Because he came and saw this. So suddenly the administration was very happy. Hosiman came and he has left that money for also these people. All right, very good. So he gave the check also. Signed by some Swami. No verification, nothing. The phone of Swami, somebody had come. I said, I don't know. Anyway, I can't remember. But then if he so, what is there? Anyway, it's not harm. He's not asking you a donation. He's giving it. Don't worry. But in the process, they kept the fellow there. And he stayed for 2 days, 3 days. And he wants a ticket back also. One who has given you check for 135. Can you not give him a 500 rupee ticket? So they were almost to give. Next day, of course, the person has disappeared along with the temple hundi. He went to the office, collected nice books and this, everything that he could collect, he collected. Because he has brought 135,000 rupee check. And he comes in that cloth. So whom do you believe? You believe the cloth, you believe the speech, but then suddenly inside there is a thief. Understand? So the I has its own notions about the wisdom. And this is what becomes very difficult to fight out. That I must sit down for 1 hour or 2 hours, I shouldn't do this, I should be doing this. So you go on passing judgment on yourself and go on judgment on others. You forget. Everything needs a overhauling. And the most important thing is this I which is passing judgment on others must be completely challenged. You can take any challenge, but not to your own individuality. That is the biggest curse. You don't mind dropping ice cream. You don't mind dropping pizza. You don't mind dropping non-vegetarian. You don't mind dropping your family. You don't mind dropping anybody. But you very much mind dropping your I. Individuality. Because, and that is the one which sticks to everything. Even after dropping everything, it reserves its right to remember. You understand how smart it is? Even after dropping everything, it reserves its right to be with it. Why? In case it needed later on. Of course, you can't forget things. So, it is there. The ahankara is there. That's why the teaching is appreciating the ahankara itself. And in order to completely counteract this ahankara, you need nirvikalpa samadhi. Continuously sitting down for the longest time. again and again and again and again. That is why you withdraw yourself for some time. So these type of places, when you come for studies, lot of leisureliness is there. Spend your time just being yourself. Just being yourself. In a nirvikalpa samadhi, what happens? No vikalpa, no thoughts. Therefore, the I thought also doesn't come up. Even that also is a thought. More and more you remain in stillness, even a whisper you can catch. Understand the point. More and more you remain in total stillness, even a whisper you can catch. Every thought you can catch. So consciously you have taken a decision. I am going to be here for 1 hour. Just think of it. Who is doing? Consciously you assume the role I, and that assuming that role, that I, which has the backing of the wisdom, he sits down. I want to be sitting in one place. The habitual I will come for its drama later on. Why am I sitting here? Go. 1 hour for what? 15 minutes enough. How do you know? Go. See the watch. Maybe, in samadhi, time passes very quickly. So you must have already sit for 1 hour. You understand who deceives you? Okay, get up and do what? Ask yourself that question. Get up and do what? Go, simply walk. Why are you simply sitting here? You fall for it, and then what do? You don't sit down. Then what do? Why? Go disturb everybody. Talk nonsense. Just think. Not comfortable with yourself. Appreciate. Take a statement. If you are convinced, listen carefully, if you are convinced there is no happiness in the object, there is comfort and discomfort. I have to add that all the time because this line is not followed. Object has a place. Car has a comfort, discomfort, house has comfort, discomfort, air conditioner has comfort, discomfort, but this has no happiness. In an object, there is no happiness, okay? Think. In this object, there is no happiness, okay? If in the object there is no happiness, in the thought of the object, can there be happiness? Cannot be. Why? The thought is a picture. Like, in my face, there is no growth. In my face, there is no growth. If you take a photo in my face, will there be a growth? There will be no growth. If there is a growth, what do you say? Somebody has manipulated, this is computer drawn, computer graphics. Because somebody has taken a growth from somewhere, plastered it on my face. Right? So, in the object, there is no happiness. If there is object, there is no happiness. In the thought of the object, is there happiness or unhappiness? In the object, there is no happiness or unhappiness. In the thought of the object, there is no happiness or unhappiness. Listen carefully. If in the thought of the object there is no happiness or unhappiness, how long should you be able to sit down closing your eyes? If you understand it theoretically, as long as you like. Why? No happiness to chase, no unhappiness to run away from. As long as you like. How long are you able to sit down quietly? Restless. Who is restless? I is restless. Who am I? Hey, I am the bliss. Happiness is a consciousness. This restless fellow is a habitual I. Continuous. You sit down. You understand what it is? The more you do that consciously, observe yourself again and again, then this ahankara is completely counteracted. Understand? Ahankara is completely counteracted. Then you use the word I thereafter. Or else what happens is, please appreciate, if you do not counteract it, but you are simply listening, oh, I have listened to it. It shall remain as a person listener, informed, lot of information inside. Think, lot of information inside. You become like a donkey. Bharasya vaha natu chandanasya. Like a donkey who carries the load of sandalwood, but never enjoys the fragrance of sandalwood with the longest nose. You carry the load of information, but there is no fragrance in living. Angry, short-tempered, jealous, miserable, vengeful, it's useless. That is why when you withdraw yourself for some time in a Gurukula, understand the context. That is why stay in this place. You stay for some time in a study atmosphere, prepare yourself before you step out into that. Like there was a Zen master, and what they do, they have this cockfight. Fighter cock, fighter cock. The tall legs, long leg, long neck. These fighter cocks are like 2 feet height, Have you seen the fighter cock? So big, tall ones. In China, Japan, and Bangkok, what is that? In Bali is a big sport. Cruel sport. This cockfight. You bet on them, just like you bet on the horses. You bet on the cocks. And oh boy, killer. They will have the knife on their leg. Fighting, one will cut the other one. Will be dead. Bleeding, dead. Anyway, so a monk was given the charge to train the cock. So what he did, 1 or 2 months he did. So his master, he was a novice. His master had appointed him to do that, because while training this wild one, this novice cock, if you can make it a master fighter, in the process you will also become a master. Like when Sita went to Janaka, Valmiki's place, he was asked to look after this. She was asked to look after the garden. There is in Uriya, there is a line, they say, everywhere there. Nire khiva agaru tanaya mukha paibu tanayara palana sukha. It means, before you see the face of your own child, you shall understand what it means to nourish a child when you nourish the plant. It's a beautiful language, beautiful line. Before you know how to nourish your child, you shall know the pleasure of nourishing a child by looking after the plants. Same thing also in the Upanishadic studies. Before you learn to nourish your mind, if you learn how to nourish a tree, keep a place clean. Please the place beautiful. You cannot stand a, dirt. You cannot stand any plastic. You cannot stand anything else. Then what happens? The same thing you transplant to your mind. You can't stand any trash. Useless. That is why, if a person of understanding becomes very tiny, very tidy, a person who is very tidy, it shall be easier for him to understand the truth also, because his mind is already programmed. Appreciate. So when the chickens were given to him, the 2 babies, the cocks were given. So after 3 months, the master says, bring the cock. And the fellow brings the fighter. And now he is ready to fight. The teacher says, no good. He's still not master. So next 3 months he comes back. Previously he was very restless and ready to fight. Now he is, you can see in the eyes of the cock. Body is restful, but the eyes there is vengeance. Oh, we're going to kill. No good. Get him back. Again he teaches him, trains him for 3 months. Now the cock comes. Absolutely like a sage he is sitting there. But the moment the opponent comes, boom. He sits down like a sage. Absolutely no movement, uncomplicated. But when the other one comes, whoosh, finishes him off. Master. That is how you train yourself. In the beginning stage, enthusiasm. Oh, I know what it is. After some time. Then when you are the thing, you are like a child. Everything is going on, nothing touches you. Everything is going on. Everything. Your body is living, things are happening, or everything is going on. It's okay. Have you seen children being disturbed? Children will playing, then now angry, now smiling. Now angry, now smiling. That is children, no? Balavat unmattavat charet. That's why the description is. Like a child he moves, or like a madman. Madman never remembers. Child never remembers. That side of it. Not that he is mad and he is child. Or a children will be wise, madman will be wise. No. Wise man is like a child, like a madman. Meaning, no remembrance. Oh, I'm sorry. Why? I told this. Oh, did you? Yes, forgotten. It's gone, forgotten. Or he chooses to forget. If he remembers, so what? Think. So, it is absolutely essential to be consciously practicing. Because ahama aruda saktehe kartum na sakyam sahasa panditeipi. Even though you are a great scholar, it will be very difficult to counteract this I thought because it's so subtle. So the more and more you sit down, longest you sit down, you can listen to the whisper. That is why it's not how long you listen is important, but how long you don't listen, but see for yourself, that is more important. 2 hours you are studying, continuously 2 hours you are attending classes, continuously 2 hours are you being with yourself? No. What is the hunger? Class is over. Then what? Oh, move. Market. Why? Class is over. As though attending a class is a job. 2 hours class is over. Then rest of the time what to do? Do whatever you want. Yes, that freedom is given. But what shall I do? Be with myself. Conscious. That is what. Kartum na sakyam. Ye nirvikalpa samadhi nischala. Tana antara ananta bhavahi vasana. Understand? Ye nirvikalpa samadhi nischala. Those who are nischala. No chalana, no movement. Nirvikalpa samadhi. Where there are no vikalpas. Even if that, listen carefully. When you say, oh, Swamiji, very, very difficult. How can there be no thought? Hey, listen. Even if there are vikalpas, if you are not unnecessarily worried about it, they are as well non-existent. Just think. There is a person visiting you. You completely ignore it. He is as well non-existent. Right or wrong? Are you getting that point? When somebody is coming, but you don't acknowledge his presence, he is as well non-existent. Somebody is hanging around here. You are busy doing your own thing. That fellow is as well non-existent. Same thing inside. You are being with yourself. The thoughts come and go. You are totally ignoring them. You don't even take notice. As well non-existent. That also is nirvikalpa. Don't say only absence of thought is nirvikalpa samadhi. Even if there is a presence of a thought, but you have no involvement, that also is nirvikalpa. You are being with yourself. Because involvement comes out of the ahankar, the I thought comes. Unconsciously will do it. Yesterday somebody was telling me a joke. In a regional language TV, in suppose Tamil language, Malayalam language, Japanese language, Spanish language, Kannada, any language there, some regional TV, they were supposed not to speak any word in English. If you tell a single word in English, you will say your mark will be cut. Okay? If a single word in English you say, your mark will be cut. Always you must say Tamil, Italian, Spanish, Japanese, Chinese, Russian, but no single word. So all these fellows are playing the game. He say, do you understand the rules? Yes. Are you really grasping it? Okay. You see how unconsciously you are using the word? I told you, you are not supposed to use the English word. Do you understand? Okay. What is okay? This is how. Are you in Nirvikala Samadhi? Yes, very much. What did you speak for? It's like telling, is there anybody inside the room? Nobody is here. Do you understand? Is there anybody in the room? Nobody. When you say nobody, what happens? Understand? Nirvikalpa. Your thought is there, but doesn't matter to anyone. Ignore. So that time, you are tanantara ananta bhavahi vasana. In that, all the vasanas, endless things, they can be existing in it. It makes no difference. And they can be lost in that also. In consciousness. That is why in time, you remember for yourself, see for yourself. You are 30, 40, 50-year-old. How many memories are already lost in consciousness? You can't recall. Many incidents you cannot recall. That is why, if something is a memory, there is a possibility of your being incapable of recalling. Suppose yourself is a thought, for thought is forgotten, you will be out. That you are not a thought, consciousness. That is why easy to remember. With a thought, you remember who you are. Without it, you are who you are. So in that, your ahankar, you catch this I thought very beautifully. Okay, I have been told this is, now he talks about, you have to be careful because aham buddhyaiva mohinyam yojayitva vriter balat vikshepa shakti purusham vikshepayati tad gunai aham buddhyaiva mohinyam vikshepa shakti purusham vikshepayati tad gunai. Please see how this ahankara, how it's smart plays it. Aham buddhi, mohinya aham buddhya. The ahankara is like a mohini who casts a spell, I thought. It is so subtle. That is why you have to be contemplative and sharp. This, in the beginning stages of the Vivekachudamani said, how the person's mind should be? Uhapoha vichakshana. As sharp as the razor's edge. Very sharp. You won't feel, but your finger is caught. So that sharp must be your mind. That is why a meditative person is absolutely sharp. Suppose you are saying, I have been meditating there. You must be nuts. This is a New Age religion. What is New Age religion? Meditation means. This bhava, that bhava, means what? Dumb, stupid, inactive, ineffective. That's not. Meditation, mind in meditation, the sharpest one. It's like the propeller in top speed, invisible. Touch it, it will be smithereens, it will be finished. Absolutely invisible, but tremendous movement like that. Nothing is visible, but totally conscious. Nothing you lose sight of, especially about your own mind. No thought is a stranger. But if you don't remember, Mohini Shakti, Aham Buddhya, Mohinya Aham Buddhya, Purusham Vikshepayati. Purusham Vikshepayati. It makes the person extrovert. Without your being aware, you shall be doing things. That is the ahankar. Without your being aware, you will be doing things. Even for meditation, you sit down. Listen carefully. You sit down. Just like the persons who do exercise. Because he is doing exercise for half an hour, he reserves a right to eat an extra idli. Have you seen that? People who go for half an hour walk, they'll come back and take 2 vadai. Why? Today, half an hour walk, Who is giving the justification? Ahankar. Ahankar is not losing fat. He is only fattening himself because he wants to eat 2 vadai. So what is the excuse? Half an hour I walk, no. So take 3 vadais. So little meditation, no. So now we can go for a movie. Or we can see something or talk something. Doesn't matter. Can you catch that thief inside? That is why a conscious denial, appreciate, understand, a conscious denial. Consciously, you cut off everything for few days. Everything for few days. Whatever comes, fine. Viksha. You live like a viksha. Whatever comes in life. Sight, sound, sight, touch, taste, smell, whatever comes. That is why a life of isolation for some time. So when you say camp, 5 days, 7 days, 8 days, 10 days means what? You live like that. As though you have nobody. You are nobody. Right. It's not the professional sitting down listening, father listening, mother listening. No. Yourself listening about yourself. That is why, understand, that is why to be a good listener, listen carefully, to be a good listener, you must be almost wise. Because other roles are coming in between. Father is worried, mother is worried, brother is worried. Something somewhere comes up. Or an intellectual thing. Oh, I know everything. I don't have to. So you are not listening anything. That is where comes the fanatics. Listen carefully. Fanatics means what? Think. It's a very, very dangerous statement. You can see that. Fanatic. Fanatic means what? One who justifies whatever he knows as the right. Even a wrong religion, a wrong tradition, a wrong thought, a wrong notion, unverified belief pushed into the person. And he thinks he is going to heaven if he kills somebody. Who is doing that? Ahankar. I thought strongly believes in it. Very strongly the person believes in it. If I kill somebody, I will be going to heaven. You understand how dangerous the person becomes? Because it has backed by a belief like that after the 7/11, 9/11, they said, as much as you love to live, that much you love to die. You understand, there cannot be a more dangerous statement than that. If a person says, as much you love to live, that much he loves to die. For him, killing is difficult. Why? He shall kill more. Because when he is waiting for death. Because when he dies, his life begins after his death in some imaginary paradise. So more he does the groundwork, literally, on this ground, on this earth, more he kills in the name of his God or religion or faith, greater is the reward. So you have got what? A desperado walking this earth. Psycho. Fanatic. Can you convince him anything? Hey, that is not right to do. Who tells what is right and wrong? This is what the book says. But what type of book is that? Book was not there before some time. So, that person who told it, he himself was not what he was talking, because he was not following that faith when he was born. Why are you following him? Did he follow anybody? No. Then why are you following him? You understand a little logic? Suppose you give a logic like that, people can't take it. Are you getting that? Did he follow somebody? No. Then why are you following him? No, he is the God, you see. No, he is the God. If he is God, how come he cannot take other people? Exclusive God. So God also has one philosophy, one thought, right? You can't talk. The ahankar, the I thought is sitting down there. Appreciate. Like a tiny fanatic can be inside you. Get up and meditate. No, I'm sleeping. Don't overeat. So what once in a while? Logic. Before you go to the kitchen, you take 100 resolve, no overeating. Once you are in the dining room, broken. It just takes 2 minutes, only 2 minutes. Until you go there, no. Today not overeating. From eating, you have gone to overeating. Are you getting that? Today not eating, you can't handle. Ahankar cannot handle. Because how can I deny myself food? Not eating, I cannot handle. So, justification is not overeating. True. But soon that also goes. Overeating also takes place. Can you catch that voice? Mohinya is like a mohini, understand? It's like a deluding one. Mohinya aham buddhya abrute balat yojayitva abrute balat. Where from he gets his strength? Abruti, repetitiveness. The I is repeating itself. Yojayitva engages himself in activity. And you are totally unconscious. Vikshepa santi purushai purusham vikshepadi tadguna. So vikshepa sakti, abrute balat, abrutina here abrunoti. It covers up, completely covers up ahankar, the I thought, covers up the truth. Then vikshepayati, projection comes, and thereby vikshepati tadgunai, whatever thought comes, you get engaged in that action. Whatever the thought, whatever. Okay. So what will happen? Read. Vikshepa Shakti Vijayo Vishamo Vidhatum Nisheshamavarana Shakti Nivritya Bhave drugdrishyayo sputapayo jalavad vibhage nasyet tadavaranam atmani cha svabhavad nishansayena bhavati pratibandha shunya hai vikshepanam nahi tada yadi chen mrusharthe vikshepa shakti vijayo vishamo vidhatum nisheshamavarana shakti nivritya bhave drugdrishyayo sputapayo jalavad vibhage nasye tadavaranam atmani jasvabhavat nishansayena bhavati pratibandha shunya hai vikshepanam nahi tada yadi chen musarthe. Now he says, vikshepa shakti vijayaha vishamaha vidhatum nishesha avarana shakti nivritti abhave. Nishesha avarana shakti nivritti abhave, in the absence of complete removal of this veiling power, nivritti, that is avarana shakti. Unless you completely remove this veiling power, vikshepa shakti vijayo vishama vidhatum, difficult to win over the projections. Avarana causes the vikshepa. First, you are veiled, the truth is veiled, then something is projected. Like the rope is veiled, snake is projected. Truth is veiled, untruth is projected. Like when you don't know what the other person is thinking, you think what he must be thinking. That is where your misunderstanding comes. Very simple life. If you know exactly what the other person is thinking, no problem. If you don't know at all what he is thinking, then no problem. If you think what he must be thinking, what is suspicion? Understand? What is suspicion? Suspicion means you think what he must be doing or she must be doing. You don't know what she is doing. You don't know what he is doing, but you think that is what she must be doing. Beautiful. Pure suffering. Understand? Pure unadulterated misery. Because you are thinking something. With the other person is not thinking. I think I am not liked anymore. Suppose a person has got that idea now. I don't think I am loved anymore. Thereafter you try to prove that person you loving him or her, you are wasting your time. Because he has already thought he is not loved anymore. Or he has already thought he is not loved anymore. I don't think anybody trusts me anymore. Finished. You have lost your trust in yourself. You don't understand. I am such a trustworthy guy. If somebody doesn't trust me, they lose. Then you shall never believe that you are not trusted anymore. Are you getting that point, please? I am such a lovable person. If somebody doesn't love me, they lose. You will never believe that you are not loved anymore. Are you getting that point, please? Because I am such a lovable person. I am such a trustworthy person. I am such a wonderful person. If somebody doesn't believe me, they lose. I don't lose anything. I am a lovable person. But as you saw, the question answer, that person can be sometimes self-righteous also. Then it is dangerous. There is a sharp difference between wise man and self-righteous. Self-righteous person is uncompromising. Wise person is, suppose he sees the other person sees the mistake, melts. Self-righteous person takes the credit. Did I not? I stood by my ground. Look at that food. Succumb. It's so peculiar. Are you getting that? So, avarana shakti vikshepa. When nishesha avarana shakti nivritya bhave, vikshepa shakti vijayo vidhatum vishama. Vishama, very difficult. And to cross over this vikshepa shakti. That is why, as you are sitting down in your meditation, being with yourself, understand, the thoughts are coming up. That the thoughts are coming up is natural to the mind, because mind means thoughts. What else will come? That is by habit it is coming. Still you don't call it a vikshepa. Listen carefully. The arrival of a thought is not a vikshepa. It becomes a vikshepa when unconsciously you jump into the stream and do act on it. Are you getting that point, please? A thought doesn't push you. A thought comes. Like this chicken, it produces the noise. The bird produces the noise. Does it pull us? But suppose you decide, okay, let us go. You decide to go there. Oh, come back. But child heard the noise, goes. For the children, for the children, they see the bird, move. They hear the noise, they move. They don't decide whether she should go or not go. That is why when the uncle is coming, the child gets excited. Why? He knows it is a sugar daddy. The uncle always brings things. They go. The parents don't want to show that children are that desperate. Don't go. Stand. 1, 2, stand. Why? Because parents don't want to show them that children are desperate. But children, boom. The moment they see, they're on. Why? Vikshepa. Understand? The same adult who teaches the child how to control its activity, himself or herself is uncontrolled under different circumstances. You see something? I must have it. Yes. Are you getting that point, please? So that there is a vikshepa is not, understand, a thought by itself is not a vikshepa until you succumb to it. Okay? Carefully think over all this. Just don't say, Swamiji, whenever sitting down, lot of vikshepa, that means there must be heavy avarana. You must learn to contemplate. You don't need an avarana for the thoughts to come up. Thoughts come up by habit. Your getting involved is because of your avarana. When you forget yourself, you jump into the stream of thought. Are you getting that point, please? When you forget yourself, you jump into the stream of thought, and especially habitual thought. Then you suddenly say, I want it, I want it. Who is that I who is wanting it? You are all bliss, all happiness, all pure consciousness. Drushya drusyayo sputapayo jalavad vivage nasya tadavarana atmanicha svabhat. How do I destroy this? Beautiful example he gives. Please, appa. Drushya drusyayo sputapayo jalavat vivage. Jala payaha. Dudh, milk and pani. Jala. Water and milk. How distinct they are. You divide clearly. This is milk, this is water. Like that, drushya, druk. This is seer, this is seen. That clear must be your discrimination. Creation is seen, drushyam. Body as though see, it is druk, seer, but it is also drushyam, seen. Eyes, seems to see, also drushyam, seen. Like various conditions of the eyes you see. Then thoughts, seen. I thought, seen. Who I am is Drugeva Natu Drushyate. The seer, never seen. You can't use the word there, seer or seen. Wordless. Can you see that distinct difference between, like as you make a distinct difference between water and the milk, that difference between seer and the seen, when you do, avaranam swabhavat nasyati. Easily, naturally, the cover is gone. Why? Because you are with yourself. So there is no question of needing to remove the cover. Are you getting that? You be yourself. There is no movement. Just be the consciousness. Let the thoughts come. But without any understanding, without any teaching, learning, simply if you say, let the thought come, let it come and go. All meditation classes, you listen to this nonsense. All the thoughts, let it come and go. Yes, very nice. But very difficult, Okay, hold your nose, sit down 2 days or 10 days. Then you are a permanent disciple of a permanent donkey. The person must learn to do it for himself. You see it, who you are. Then thoughts are naturally managed. Just like, can you say, I know driving, but I don't know how to negotiate. Can you say? Driving means what? Negotiating. There is no learning driving first, then negotiating again. When you learn driving, negotiating is part of it. I know meditation, but I don't know how to handle my thought. You don't know meditation, you don't know handling thought, don't worry. Meditation means negotiating with thought. Mind management, easy. All your thoughts, your perception, everything is easy. Okay. Nasyet avarana. Nishansayena bhavati pratibandha sunya. Nishansayena, without any doubt, when the person is thus aware of himself, pratibandha sunyam bhavati, pratibandha sunya. No more there is any obstacle. Please tell me, who has the obstacle? The car has the obstacle? The car has the obstacle? Or the driver has the obstacle? Huh? Driver. Road has an obstacle or the driver has an obstacle? One day, Sardar was driving in his car. And then he hit the, what is that? He hit the speed breaker. When he hit the breaker, he says, the Sardar owner tells the driver, what happened? Oh, there was a speed breaker, it's on the road. So why didn't you horn? The owner said, why didn't you blow the horn? He said, I blew the horn, but he won't listen. So why are you laughing? Yeah, the person is stupid, not the road. Then after some time he was doing another breaker, so he changed the gear suddenly. From fourth to second, third, when it comes, it stops the noise. He said, what is this noise? He said, I'm changing the gear. And the owner gets very angry. You are changing the gear, changing these things when I am already in the car. When I am not here, what all things you will be changing? Now why are you laughing? Because the fellow is stupid, right? Don't you think we are stupid? In the road of consciousness, what is the obstacle? Nothing. Just the thought vehicle. What is the obstacle? Nothing. Obstacle comes for whom? I. So if you have an obstacle, you are announcing your presence. Understand? Therefore, don't say, I am not going to announce my presence by admitting obstacle. No. You better be yourself. Obstacles automatically drop because there are no obstacles. Okay? Be that. We'll see more of it in the afternoon.